Now, one of Australia's greatest ever Prime Ministers, John Howard, has called Albanese's decision to recognise a Palestinian state reckless and dangerous. Howard and his long-serving Foreign Minister, Alexander Downer, issued a rare public statement today saying they're appalled, they use the word appalled, by the Albanese government's recent behaviour. They said both the Prime Minister and the Minister for Home Affairs, Tony Burke, have undermined a relationship of enduring trust between Australia and Israel. In doing so, they have failed to match the leadership and strength once shown by Labor figures such as Bob Hawke and Doc Evatt. Hawke had a close relationship with legendary Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir, and he famously said after the 1973 Yom Kippur War that if the bell tolls for Israel, it won't just toll for Israel, it will toll for all mankind. And Doc Evatt was the president of the United Nations General Assembly in 1948 when Israel was first established. I mean, how different the current iteration of federal Labor is to them. Howard and Downer accused Albanese and Burke of breaching international law in prioritising short-term domestic political advantage. They said in their statement, the question of recognising Palestine as a sovereign state is not a matter of empty symbolism. It strikes at the heart of whether international law is to be respected or discarded whenever political expediency is deemed more convenient. And here was Alexander Downer speaking to Chris Kenny about this earlier.
I mean, I've noticed people who are supporting the Palestinians are always going on about international law and the importance of international law. Well, the recognition of a Palestinian state is quite contrary to international law because it doesn't meet any of the 4 criteria.
And in the statement, they explain the 4 criteria, what it is that international law requires for statehood to be met. Now, this includes a defined territory, a permanent population, an effective government, and the capacity to engage in relations with other states. They say Palestine, as it stands today, does not meet these standards. There are no agreed borders. Hamas, a terror group, still controls Gaza. There's no unified or effective government, and the Palestinian Authority lacks true control or credibility with Palestinian people. Now, John Howard and Alexander Downer also point out that under the Oslo Accords, the Palestinians did commit to resolve final status issues, including borders, settlements, refugees, security, and statehood, through direct negotiations with Israel. But then that never happened. The former leaders say recognition of a Palestinian state outside this framework discards those commitments. It offers the prize of statehood without requiring the compromises, governance capacity, and accountability that a durable peace demands. And Downer explained earlier on Chris Kenny how this is a prize for Hamas.
We've been outraged that Hamas has been rewarded in this way by the Australian government. It's a shocking thing to do. I mean, your viewers don't need to be reminded of the horrific crimes that Hamas has committed.
Downer and Howard also argue that the move to recognise the Palestinian state sets a dangerous precedent and entrenches division. They say it teaches the Palestinian leadership that peace is unnecessary for statehood. And then this, I thought, was the strongest part. They conclude their statement by saying, to recognise Palestine prematurely is not just poor diplomacy, it is a betrayal of the legal order that underpins the very idea of a rules-based international system. Those who value international law and who understand the hard lessons of conflict resolution should resist such a reckless and dangerous course. Isn't it refreshing to be reminded of what real leadership, moral clarity, and clear argument looks like? Our world here in Australia would be so different right now with a strong leader running this country. And I'm very pleased to say that John Howard will appear on my program to discuss this topic on Monday night. So make sure you don't miss that interview.